What's up, guys? B&B Sports Cards and Collectibles here with wax box of 1990 Pro Set Football Series 1, I believe. Yes, Series 1. Series 2 is a yellow box. A lot of errors in here. No rookies as far as Emmitt Smith or Junior Seau or any of those bigger names, but still a pretty cool card set. Pretty cheap. I bought this online from a guy on Facebook, so for a pretty good price. I got like 2 or 3 boxes of stuff from him. So anyway, see what kind of condition these are in. The old school cardboard box. Wasn't great for, the Pro Set boxes weren't great for keeping long term. Let's pull some of these packs out, actually. Oh my goodness, I'm doing terrible at this. There we go. All right. We'll keep our stacks together. That card felt weird on the bottom. All right. It doesn't say. Comes with 14 photo and stat cards plus a collectible, which I can't remember what the collectible is in this set. We'll find out shortly. And then, of course, the little playbooks. Probably 36 packs, I would assume. But there we go. We'll start with this stack right here. First pack of Pro Set Series 1. Oh yeah, it's the Super Bowl is the collectible, Super Bowl cards. All right. I don't know all the errors, so if I miss one and you know, holler at me on the comments. Jim Jensen, Raul Allegri, Donald, the kicker, Warren Moon, NFL Man of the Year, David Treadwell, Thurman Thomas, Pro Bowl card, Eric Thomas, Vaughn Johnson, Drew Hill, Bobby Humphrey. This is a good era of card if you were a big Tecmo Super Bowl guy. QB Browns right here, Bernie Kosar, Clay Matthews Pro Bowl, Joe Gibbs coaching card, Mike Singletary, and then Super Bowl II, AFL versus NFL. This was the Packers and who was that? The Raiders, yeah. Packers Raiders. It's pretty cool. Not like valuable or anything, but pretty cool cards. I keep a lot of cards, so you'll see me set a bunch to the side, and I don't keep them because of value. I keep them because I like them. There we go. There's that card right there. Barry Sanders, Pro Set Rookie of the Year. It's a cool card. If I remember right, the one with the trophy, then there's another version, but I don't think you could get it in a box. I'm not sure, though. All right, Eric Howard, Jack Pardee from Cristobal, Texas. Hall of Famer as far as a player. Felix Wright, Webster Slaughter, Mike Munchak, Sam Weish, Roy Foster, Ernest Gibbons, Vincent Brown, Harris Barton, protecting Joe Montana right there. Johnny Rimbert, Pro Bowl. Oh my, they're all upside down. Darrell Grant, Keith Van Horn, not to be mistaken with Keith Van Horn, who spelt it like that, basketball player. And then Super Bowl, what's that, 6. Cowboys and Dolphins. The Battle at New Orleans. All right. Get rid of that playbook thing. I used to scratch those when I was a kid. Lewis Sharp, Bill Parcells, Kmart, Kelvin Martin, Ted Hendricks, 1990 Hall of Fame selection. That's cool. Rodney Holman, Mike Johnson, Carl Zander, Ken O'Brien, Tony Zendejas, Sammy Smith, Jesse Sapolu, Bruce Matthews, Pro Bowl, fastest man in the NFL, Darrell Green, Neil Anderson, coolest mouthpiece in the world. And then, what do we got? 15, 18. Super Bowl 18. Raiders killed the Skins. All right. Oop, wrong stack. I know one of the errors is Fred Marion, where John Taylor's belt is showing and it looks inappropriate. Roy Green, Muhammad Elawanibi, the Outland Trophy winner. Ron Meyer, Franco Harris, Hall of Fame selection. Dave Craig, Pro Bowl. Derek Thomas. I want to say there was a error with this, but it might have been another Derek Thomas card. Jason Buck, Freeman McNeil, John Grimsley, Don Shula coach's card, Pierce Holt. Went to Angelo State. He's from Texas. Howie Long, Scott Studwell, Richard Dent, and Super Bowl 10 in Miami. Steelers Cowboys. All right. Next pack. Tim McDonald choking out, man, who is that? Just went blank. I want to say his last name is Smith. Steve Smith, maybe. Dan Marino, Crawford Kerr, Joe Montana, the passing leader, Leonard Smith, Shane Conlon, Nick Lowry, Al Toon. I always loved me Al Toon. I don't know why. Probably because of Tecmo Super Bowl. Steve Brown, Andre Tippett, one of my brother's favorite players. Roger Craig, underrated as all get out. Hall of Famer in my opinion. Albert Lewis, Mike Merriweather, Charles Mann, and Super Bowl 4. Chiefs beat the Vikings. Of course, these were the packs that were like little trash bags, basically. JT Smith, Sam Mills, Joe Bugle. Look at that hair. Thurman Thomas. I think that had an error. Don't know what it was. And some of these errors were like little things. Like they have the wrong name on the back. And it's not the name of the player, but it's the name in a paragraph that they have typed up. Something silly like that that doesn't really change the value. Charles Haley, Kyle Clifton, Dean Stinkenhuler, John Stevens, Reggie Langhorne, Reggie Roby, Henry Thomas, Dan Reeves in Super Bowl 5, where the Colts upset the Cowboys. Sad day. I wasn't alive for it, but it would have been sad. Okay, Rich Camarillo, Steve Atwater, killing some dude. Not sure who that is. K. Jones, maybe. Don't know who he is, though. Ken Norton, ripping off Maurice Carthon's head. Andre Ware, Heisman Trophy winner. Now, this one has a... I don't know if it's considered error or not, but it should have a... Or not should, but could have a little triangle right here that says drafted. This does not have that. Not sure what difference it makes. But... This probably just tells you when this box was put out compared to other ones. Ray Donaldson, John Alt, Troy Benson, Bubba McDowell, Ricky Sanders. I remember as a kid, I always thought it was weird he was trying to call timeout. That's definitely not what he's doing. It's kind of funny. Michael Carter, Greg Cragen. Looks like he's going out for a pass in the Pro Bowl. But he's on defense, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. Al Noga. Eric Metcalf, underrated player. Amazing return man. And Super Bowl 22. Redskins killed the Broncos. All right. 2 more and we're a fourth of the way done. Ken Harvey, Brad Edelman. Okay, this one has another version too, where it says traded on it. I believe. Traded to the Falcons. I'm pretty sure. Andre Rison. Walter Stanley. We'll save that Rison. Nate Odoms. He was really good. Reggie White. Minister of Defense. Tom Rathman, very good fullback. Bruce Coslett, Ray Childress. Ernest Biner, always thought he was dancing in this picture. It's a cool card. Michael Kofer, or not Michael, but Mike. Michael's a lion. Frank Minifield. Wade Wilson. Tyrone Braxton. And the first Super Bowl, Packers and the Chiefs. Guess it'd be cool to get all those cards, each Super Bowl. I'm not sure off the top of my head. 1990, or I guess it would be 89, what the Super Bowl was in 89. I want to say that's one that the Niners won, but maybe Niners and Bengals? I don't know. Earl Farrell, Simon Fletcher, Fred Young, Jack Lambert, Hall of Famer, John Elliott, Max Montoya, signed with the Raiders, Steve DeBerg, JoJo Townsend, Alonzo Highsmith, Eric Martin. I always feel like Eric Martin was really good. I don't know if it was... I mean, he had some good years. 1,000 yards. You know, and they didn't throw the ball as much back then. Played at LSU. George Seifert, Eric McMillan, Keith Millard, one of the Three Amigos, Ricky Nattil, and was it Three Amigos or Three Musketeers? No, I just went blank. I think it's Three Amigos. I think this is a Cowboys Super Bowl. 7, Cowboys Broncos. Yep. That's when they destroyed old Craig Morton, the former Cowboy. All right, let me fix this stack. All right. All right, we'll go to this stack now. Ernie Jones. I really want to get that Fred Marion card just to see which one we get. Derek Thomas, Defensive Rookie of the Year. This one has an error, but couldn't tell you what it is. I'll have to look all that up. I tried before, but there was too many to remember them all. Donnell Thompson, another Montana. We already got that one. Darryl Talley, Buddy Ryan, Ray Perkins, Johnny Hector. He went to A&M, I think. Yep. Leslie O'Neal, William White, Jerry Rice, very cool. Pro Set did always have some good photos. And that's a great action photo. Anthony Munoz, Neil Smith, Paul Farron, and this is the Bears over the Pats, 46-10. All right, Super Bowl 20. I think I'm wrong on my Super Bowl that I was thinking about. I don't know. I'm going to embarrass myself trying to remember. All right, here we go. Clyde Simmons, Jimmy Johnson, Mike Pryor, Tom Landry. Very cool. Got Jimmy and Tom in the same pack. Scott Norwood. Let's see. Keith Jackson, John Settle, the Magic Man, Don Mikowski, Mike Dial, Art Monk, great receiver, Vince Newsom, Kevin Ross, Jim Lacey, Bud Carson. He's actually calling timeout. And this would be Steelers over the Rams, 31-9. Super Bowl 14. Okay. Next one. Bruce Smith, Marion Butts, John Hand, Anthony Thompson, Maxwell Club Player of the Year. So he didn't get the Heisman, but he got the Maxwell Award, which is the other Player of the Year. Must have had a lot of yards. Almost 1,800 yards for Indiana. Never panned out in the pros. Yeah, I think he went to the Cardinals. Never worked out. Cornelius Bennett, Jerome Brown, Tom Newberry, Tim Harris, Bo Jackson. Cool card. A lot of little splotches here. Cool card, though. Stephon Page. These close-ups are awesome. Steve Jordan, Andre Reed, great receiver. Gary Clark, great receiver. Vance Johnson, another of the Three Amigos. And Super Bowl 7. Dolphins beat the Redskins 14-7. Not much scoring. All right. They didn't have a bunch of rules where they could score a lot of points like they do now. There's a Dion, second year card. It's cool. What other second year guys are we looking for here? Dion, Troy Aikman, and what was the other big one? Barry Sanders, of course. Trying to think. Derek Thomas from that 89 year with all those really good rookies. Yeah, Pro Set changed to this look after that first year in 89 where they had the very colorful cards, which I actually liked. Mark Kelso, he's got the extra helmet on his helmet to help his concussions. Mike Quick. Who's that? Darryl Green trying to pick it off. Darryl Green, I don't know. Looks like they both have it. Bill Moss, Ed West, Bud Carson, Mark Rippon, Jerry Burns, Greg Bell. I want to say second year. No, I'm an idiot. Man, what was I thinking? I was thinking of somebody else. Oh, he's from Notre Dame. Go Irish. Gerald Riggs, Jim Covert, Super Bowl II. That's why Greg Bell's name sounded familiar. He's at Notre Dame. Chris Miller, great uniform. Dion's was better with the red jersey. Billy Ray Smith. Albert Bentley, who replaced Dickerson, right? For the Colts? I don't know. Lindy Infante, Sean Farrell, Anthony Miller, Marcus Cotton, Brent Fullwood, Mike Ditka, member Pro Football Hall of Fame. See, so this one has the stripe on it. Some of them don't. So it's kind of odd that I've gotten some of the cards with the stripes, yet some of the ones without the stripes. Very odd. Morton Anderson, my man Herschel. Love Herschel. This would have been his first Vikings card, I'm guessing, other than maybe some tops traded. I bet he was tops traded in Vikings, if I remember right. Mike Welcher, Brian Sochia. There's Troy, second year card. Cool. And then Super Bowl VI, Cowboys beat the Dolphins. We already got that one. All right. Not a whole lot of... We've gotten a few duplicates, but for the most part, so far... Oh, here it is. Fred Marion. Nope, the belt is missing. The belt was coming from John Taylor right here, and it looked very bad. So, this is definitely an edited box, or an updated box, compared to when you could get the Fred Marion original card. All right, Burt Grossman, Bill Brooks, Jim Mora, Ozzie Newsome, Keith Byers, Andre Bruce, Perry Kemp, Irv Ettman, Jim Arnold, Irv Pankey, my goodness, Jackie Slater, again, Kevin Butler, Chris Spielman, and this is what? Raiders Super Bowl in Tampa, Raiders over Skins. I think we already got that one too. Thinking we've gotten a lot of duplicates on the Super Bowl cards, but not so much on the regular cards, which is good. Jerry Glanville, Michael Irvin, very awesome. Clarence Verdon, Chris Dolman, the sack leader. How many do you have? Where's he at? Chris Dolman, 21? 21 sacks on the year? What's the record, like 28 or something? When Favre fell down so Strahan could get it. That was garbage. Eric Allen, Michael Walter, Johnny Holland, Steve Wisniewski, Marty Schottenheimer, Pete Holohan, John Robinson, Joe Gibbs. There's Barry's second year card. Very cool. I remember I had this. I thought had one of the best cards ever. I love the close-ups. They did so good with photography. It's a good card. Yeah, I remember I thought it was his rookie because it only had one line. Definitely not the case. Oklahoma State. All right, Steelers beat the Cowboys, Super Bowl X. So I've got the major second-year guys already. Again, rookies like Emmett and Sayal. Can't think of who else was even in that group. that was worth keeping. Not much, but not in this series. They're in Series 2. Eddie Brown, Dan Henning, Merrill Hodge, Rich Camarillo, Dino Hackett, Lewis Lips, Harry Hamilton, Lindy Infante, Art Shell with the Hall of Fame slash. It's cool. Or stripe. I don't know why I said slash. Lars Tate. I don't know why, but that's a cool name. Randall McDaniel. Sorry about that. Jim Everett. Daryl Grant. Eddie Murray. Super Bowl IV. Chiefs Vikings. I'll have to go back through and see how many of the Super Bowls I actually got. Of course, from all the cards I've opened before, I probably got them all. Here's the actual Montana, rather than the passing leader one. That's the one that's right there on the box. Cool. Vincey Glenn, Christian Okoye, Sterling Sharp, unbelievable player. If he'd have never got hurt. Don Griffin, Bubby Brister, Steve DeBerg. There's Sterling again. Probably could be a Hall of Famer. Should be almost. Marv Levy. Vinny Testaverde. I hope these have been in the camera. I apologize if I got off. Felix Wright. Wasn't really looking. Jerry Gray, underrated career. Darrell Green, Hall of Famer. Benny Blades. And then Super Bowl V. Colts upset the Cowboys. All right. Okay, that's that stack. All right, we'll go with this back right corner here. Bruce Smith. Now we're getting some dupes on the Pro Bowlers, but there weren't as many of those. I remember some of these. Edelman, Mike Pryor, Lindy Infante, Nate Odoms. Yeah, we're starting to dupe it now. Tom Rathman, Bruce Coslet, Alonzo Highsmith, William White. Was that not the name of the Breaking Bad guy? William White? Maybe not. Mike Kofer, Frank Minifield, Don Mosbar, Tyrone Braxton, and the Super Bowl card. We're going to speed up now that we're getting dupes. Hopefully we get another Barry and Troy and Dion. Those are probably the better ones. Well, here we go. Here's Dion. I was wrong earlier. I said he had a red jersey on. I completely lied. It's a cool photo. All right. Simon Fletcher, John Hand, Buck Buchanan, John Elliott, Max Montoya, Steve DeBerg, JoJo Townsell, Leslie O'Neal, Art Monk, George Seifert, Eric McMillan, Steve Birdline, Ricky Nattil, and Super Bowl 18. Raiders, Redskins. Yeah, I've gotten that one in 3 or 4 times now. Trying to think of which one was the highest number I've gotten so far. Was there not a 20-something? 18, 19. What year was this? That would probably help. 84. Yeah, there should be some 20-something cards. Chris Miller. Derek Thomas. I don't think I ever got his regular card. Dwayne Bickett. Christian Okoye, the rushing leader. Huh. Was it NFL or AFC? NFL. Let's see. Since 85. He had 1,480 yards. His carries were ridiculous. Dude took a beating. Darryl Talley, Buddy Ryan, Ray Perkins, Johnny Hector, Mike Dial, Stephon Page. That's another good Jerry. Of course, Jerry and Joe will be about as valuable as it gets between him and the Barry Sanders, probably. Willie Gault, Paul Farron, Super Bowl 10. Okay. Oh, wrong side. What are we at? 24 minutes. As usual, it takes about 30-35 minutes to get through a box. Here's another Fred Marion. Still updated. Or corrected. Corrected Fred Marion. Jimmy Johnson. Albert Bentley. Bob Greasy. Scott Norwood. Keith Jackson. John Settle. Don Mikowski. There's Bo, and has the exact same marks as the other one. That's kind of crazy. Wonder if they all have it. Mark Rippon, Vince Newsom, Kevin Ross, Neil Smith, Bud Carson, Super Bowl IV. All right. Tried to grab the wrong side again. Camarillo. Bill Parcells. Joe Bugle. Jack Lambert. Rodney Holman. Mike Johnson. Carl Zander. Ken O'Brien. John Grimsley. Andre Tippett. Jesse Sapolu. Bruce Matthews. Bob Golick. Neil Anderson. Super Bowl 7. No, I'm sorry, 12. The Battle at New Orleans. Right? Is that when they beat the... Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was when they beat... I mean, it was at New Orleans, but that was when they beat Broncos. All right, Ken Harvey. Muhammad something. Ken Norton ripping heads off. Montana, Player of the Year. Oh, okay, so that's like his MVP, I guess. I don't know why they call it Player of the Year. Dave Craig, Derek Thomas, Jason Buck, Freeman McNeil, Steve Brown, John Stevens. Where did he play? Northwestern State. Crazy. Pierce Holt, Howie Long, Steve Smith. Yeah, it was Steve Smith. Remember earlier the card where Atwater was murdering someone. It was Steve Smith. Richard Dent, Super Bowl 20, which was 86. So let's see, 87 would be 21, 88 would be 22. So 89 would have been 23. So Super Bowl 23 is as high as it'll get. I want to say that was the 88-89. Yeah, 88-89 was back-to-back Niners. Correct me if I'm wrong. Earl Farrell. Another Marino. It's good. Another Rising without the traded stripe. You know what? The traded stripe, I believe, or triangle, is in Series 2. So all this jibber-jabber for nothing. Tom Landry, Leonard Smith, Shane Conlon, Nick Lowry, Altoon, Stunken Cooler. Definitely not how you say that. Ricky Sanders, Roger Craig, Albert Lewis, Tim Brown. I met him before. Nice guy. Charles Mann, and Super Bowl 14. Two more on this side, and then we got one pile left. Oh. Ernie Jones, Sam Mills, Fred Young, another Anthony Thompson, a Jim Kelly, Lee Williams, Charles Haley, Kyle Clifton, Bubba McDowell, Ernest Biner Danson, Reggie Langhorne, whoops, sorry, Reggie Roby, Greg Townsend, Dan Reeves, Super Bowl 7. It's a Dolphin Super Bowl. Okay. I think this is only like my second box of this to ever open, ever. I mean, I bought packs as a kid, obviously, because they were cheap, but I only got one box. Usually I buy the yellow ones because I'm going to get the Emmets. Clyde Simmons. Oh, it wasn't Atwater killing the guy. Who was hitting Steve Smith earlier? Don't remember. There's Atwater. He's another second-year guy. Donnell Thompson, Percy Snow, Scott Radicek, Ray Donaldson, John Alt, Troy Benson, Ray Childress, Eric Martin, Michael Carter, Greg Cragen, Mervin Fernandez, Eric Metcalf. I would put money on it that this is a kick or a punt return here. Could be wrong. It's his second-year card because he was in that really good draft class with Troy and Barry and Dion. Super Bowl 2. Okay. All right, last stack. That means we should have what? 9 packs? Via Sikahima. Vincey Glenn. We haven't got this card yet. Ronnie Lott jumping over Cleveland Gary right here. Sterling Sharp, receiving leader with 1,423 yards. Cool. Don Griffin. Bubby Brister, Lewis Billups, Sterling again, just like the other pack. David, why, man? Hartley Dykes, second-year card. Felix Wright, Jerry Gray, Darryl Grant, Benny Blades, Super Bowl 17. Redskins over somebody. At Pasadena. I love when they used to have them there. Now they got to have huge stadiums. Lewis Oliver, Billy Joe Tolliver. That rhymed. Dalton Hilliard. There's Otis Anderson running through some Cowboys. Comeback Player of the Year. Ron Holmes, Greg Lloyd, Ricky Dixon, Ron Hallstrom, Joe Nash sacking Jay Schrader. I believe that is. Mark Carrier. He's a pretty good receiver back in the day. Ralph Mosijinko. My word. Never heard of him. Henry Ellard. Darrell Green. Wayne Fonts. Oh, here we go. Here's a 20. This is 21. Giants Broncos. 1987. That's probably the newest one we've gotten so far. Cool. That's a different one. Hopefully we get some of the newer ones. I don't even know if they made them. They made those cards for the 89 Super Bowl. Surely they are on here. I mean, that was the year before. Eric Sievers, Gil Bird, Chris Carter. Second year card, but really his third year. I mean, the start of his fourth year. But his rookie was in 89 Pro Set. It just wasn't a draft pick one. Scoring leader with touchdowns was Dalton Hilliard. I would not have guessed that if asked that question. He had 18 touchdowns on the season. Very cool. Stanley Morgan. Sounds like a guy who does your financial stuff for you. Tim Worley, Tim McGee, Mark Murphy, Brian Millard, Kevin Murphy, John Taylor. Now we're getting some cards we hadn't seen yet. Larry Kelm, Scott Studwell, Jerry Ball, Super Bowl 11. All right, getting down to the end. We're at 32 minutes. Glanville, Marion Butts, Bill Brooks, Defensive Player of the Year, Keith Millard, Cornelius Bennett, Jerome Brown, Tom Newberry, Tim Harris, Bud Carson, Jim Arnold, Steve Jordan, Andre Reed, Jim Lachey, Vance Johnson, Super Bowl 5. I think we've gotten Vance Johnson and Ricky Nattil, but I haven't seen Mark Jackson to get all the three amigos. If I'm calling him the wrong name, it's embarrassing, but I think that's right. Eddie Brown, Gary Plummer, Clarence Verdon, Mike Kofer, the kicking scoring leader, Mark Kelso, Mike Quick, Bill Moss, Ed West, Mike Ditka, Marty Schottenheimer, Terry Burns, my word, Greg Bell, Gary Clark right in front of Cunningham, catching the ball, Jim Covert, Super Bowl 22. Redskins over Broncos. And that was 89. So, turns out I'm an idiot. That's what it turns out. What was I thinking? Maybe that was 87, 88. Now I feel dumb. The Niners back to back. Or maybe, can't remember. There's Joe. Billy Ray Smith, Merrill Hodge, Rod Woodson, kickoff return leader, Sean Farrell, Anthony Miller, Marcus Cotton, Brent Fullwood, Irv Ettman, Lars Tate, another Herschel. Come on, let's get another Barry. Mike Wilcher, Gerald Riggs. There's another Troy. So I got two of those. I got a little bump corner here of Super Bowl 1. So we got 2 second-year Troys, 2 second-year Deons, 2 second-year Metcalfs, 2 second-year Atwaters. Just need one more Barry. Jacob Green, Burt Gross, man. Christian Okoye, Jim Mora, Ozzie Newsome, Keith Byers, Andre Bruce, Perry Kemp, Steve Wisniewski, Benny Testaverde, Irv Pankey, Jackie Slater, Brian Socia, Chris Spillman, Super Bowl 19, Niners Dolphins, 1985. Oh, I haven't got this card yet. Randall Cunningham. Cool. Andre Waters is back there watching. He's one of the CTE guys, unfortunately. Michael Irvin. David Fulcher. Great player on Tecmo. Chris Dolman. Ron Morris. Eric Allen. Gary Zimmerman. Johnny Holland. Art Shell. Bruce Hill, Pete Houlihan, Jeffrey Robinson, or John, I mean. Jeff's a pitcher. Kevin Butler. Hey, we got another Barry. All right. This box was definitely a success, in my opinion. Got multiples of all of the better players, so, I mean, not that you get your money back in these situations because it's pro set, but... or not that that even matters because I'm not going to sell these. But it's cool to know that you got the good cards. Dino Hackett, Lewis Lips, Ickey Woods, Lindy Infante, Marv Levy, Irvin Randall, Randall McDaniel, Jim Everett, Joe Gibbs, Eddie Murray, and Super Bowl 9. Steelers over Vikings. All right, that is the box. 1990 Pro Set Series 1. Great series, a lot of good players. I'm going to go look up that Super Bowl thing because I made myself mad talking myself out of what I thought. So, you guys have a great day. Hope you enjoyed the video. Comment below if you want. Like and subscribe. Always great to have. And I'll try to put some more videos up soon. All right, have a good one.